in lane 1, West Germany, Holland in lane 2, Australia in lane 3, 4 GDR, 5 New Zealand, and 6 Great Britain. And Martin Cross, sitting next to me, was in that Great Britain crew, rowing at bow, and he's going to talk us through this race.
One of the strongest fields in the championships for this race. Australia, the crew of the regatta in Lucerne, won in a new world record. They're in lane 3. Next to them, the East Germans in white, the Olympic and world champions. The Dutch crew on lane 2 on the far side. They came second in Lucerne, almost broke the world record. And British crew with me at bow in lane 6 on the outside. Inside in black, New Zealand, bronze medalist from last year, so certainly a very quality field. Tactics at this stage for the British crew to get away cleanly, try and work on the technique. Blades coming flat through the water, so all the effort goes in moving the boat towards the bows. And certainly at this stage, we were very pleased with our position. In the heats, we've been led up in the early stages of the race, and here, well up with the leaders, certainly going along very nicely.
You can see Australia there on the far side in lane 3. They're the favourites. They're the crew that Australia is putting all their hopes on. They're called the Awesome Foursome, and they have had a tremendous season. They're the crew that everybody has to beat, and they've moved out already to about a half a length lead. Martin, here you are lying about 5th there. What's the feeling?
Feeling was pretty good. The boat was moving along really sweetly. One of the best rows that I've ever had up to this stage. And things can't be going too badly when you're only perhaps half a length off the Australian world record holders. So pretty pleased to be in there in the hunt at the moment.
Australia looking very strong, sitting in front about a third of a length ahead, coached by a Melbourne school teacher. They've got very nice scent at the finish, but they're in lane 6. Martin, about 3/4 of a length down on the leaders, sitting in 3rd place.
Yes, and I think we were just coming up to the 500-metre point at this part of the race, and looking to move on and move out. See the white boys there, 500 metres gone, and the 2-man in the boats in front of me, Peter Mulcairns, is just beginning to call a push, which really should try and take us through the East Germans.
What were your feelings about the Australians? Before the race, you felt that the Australians were gettable?
Before the championships, I thought the Australians were gettable, and possibly we had a chance of winning. But once I'd seen the Australians in the first race, it was probably them to win, and any one of 4 crews for bronze or silver medals.
Well, it's terribly close here. It's really only about 3/4 of a length separating all the other crews. But Australia moving very, very nicely and clear of the field, nearly a length up now on East Germany. They go through the halfway point. Britain now in 2nd. Was that a big push there?
That was a big push, and we're actually going to make another big push coming through the 1,000-metre point. Mulcairns has just called another effort, and that should take us away from the East Germans. The boat's still flying along here, moving very, very well. It was a bit of an upset for us to be in front. Normally they seed the middle 2 lanes, so you expect the winners to come from 3 and 4. So to see a crew from lane 6 doing so well is a bit unusual. But we're pushing away from the East Germans at this point and feeling good.
How difficult is it to put a big push in, two pushes in succession like that?
It was pretty difficult. It depends on how the boat's going, and as it was going so sweetly, then that's really what mattered. We could push in the rhythm.
Well, you closed up on the Australians at that point, at 1,400 metres. You look to be in a good position for the silver medal.
That's right. I had a look round at the Australians and wondered if it was worthwhile even pushing through for them and perhaps going for a goal. But I think we'd pretty much settled in there to stay in the rhythm and see what came out of it. So here we're just consolidating the place that we've got, trying to keep ahead of the other crews.
My guess is if you'd been at stroke, you would have gone after the Australians and you'd have probably hung on to their coattails, and it might have dragged you across in 2nd place.
Well, that's, the lad at stroke is actually very, very competent in the boat, and certainly he's done a fantastic job all season.
Well, with 500 metres to go, I would have thought it was very difficult for you to get caught. You've got East Germany slipping back all the time. And the Dutch moving well.
The Dutch have had a fantastic finish in all the races they've had this season. We beat them once in Essen, West Germany, but every race since, they've always rode through us in the last part of the row. So we knew we had to have a bit of a lead coming into the last part of the race.
There was Nicholas Green, Michael Kay, Sam Patton and Stroke James Tompkins in the Australian crew. They look as if they're going to get that gold medal. Coming up on the far side, it's Holland. Holland moving well, but it's Britain just hanging on to the tail there of the Australian crew for second place. Britain looking good for the silver medal. Australia, strong and powerful. They look unbeatable now in front of their home crowd. This is the crew that everybody in Australia wants to see win the gold medal. Britain still in second, but being pressed hard now. Holland moving up, but Australia dominant. Australia being cheered home by their home crowd. Very powerful, very strong, and that's Holland coming up now. It's Holland. Holland have moved past Great Britain. Great Britain falling back. Holland have moved into second place. Great Britain still hanging on in there. It's Australia half a length ahead of Holland. And in third place, GDR, Britain pushed back into fourth. New Zealand in fifth, and West Germany trailing in sixth place. What a great triumph from the home team, and what disappointment for Great Britain, who looked so sure to get that silver medal. What happened?
I think legs disappeared at the end of the race is what happened.
It was Australia, champions coming home in front of their home crowd. Holland in second place, East Germany in third, Great Britain squeezed into fourth place, and New Zealand and West Germany bringing up the tail end. But what a great race, and what a great champion crew. 1990 world champions, coxless 4.